Good morning, gorgeous ones, or good afternoon. Hey, hey, ladies. Let me fix myself here. Make sure I am good. I've got such an important, juicy thing I want to share with you all today. Oh, this is not. Okay, there we go. All right, all right. Hey, good afternoon or good evening to some of you in the UK area. I hope you are doing fabulous. Gabrielle, can you fix that light, please? Just move over just a little bit slightly. Yeah, perfect. Better. Thank you. Yes. So, I wanted to share this incredible bit of information, something that I have learned and something that someone I'm working with is actually learning now. And it's so true because I feel I needed to remind all of you, beautiful ladies, how incredibly powerful you are. So if you're out there and you're watching me live, just say, I'm here. Let me know where you're watching me from so I can get familiar with who's in the group and where you guys actually live. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Um, because I think it's important that we really tap into how powerful we are, and it's not some. This is not rocket science stuff I'm about to share with you, but it is powerful. It is something that is life shifting once you understand it, and it's something that we all have access to. It's just a matter of us deciding to access it. So this morning, um, this gentleman I was working with contacted me, and he said to me, "It's so interesting what happens when you make a firm decision." And I'm thinking, like, what do you mean? So just to give you a little bit of background from this guy, he and I were working together because he recently left his work a few months ago and went into an early retirement, but then decided for financial reasons to go back and work again. But the thing we worked on was him being able to see his value and truly, more self-love, more, tapping into his own power as a man. And so I've done some healing work with him and I've had some coaching sessions with him. And so he contacts me today just to give a little bit of background. So he decided he was going to go back out. Hello out there. Let me know your name and let me know where you're watching me from. So he contacted me this morning to tell me that he was looking for work. Hey, Sherry. Hey. And he was looking for work and he had decided one so he started looking, I think, uh 3 weeks ago. So the first week, he was just putting out resumes, right? Nothing really happened. People accept his resume. But what was different about this time than in the past was he wasn't getting the canned rejections right away. And I want to share this with you because it's a very important point. He wasn't getting the canned rejections right away. The ones you get typically, they don't want you, whatever. So week number 2 rolls around and he starts getting all these people calling him because he's focused. He's putting in resumes. It's a full-time job. He's looking for work. So people started calling him, right? Which makes sense because that's what he was focused on. He treated it like a job. Next thing you know, in 1 week, he had, I think, 5 interviews. Some of them on the phone, some of them live, face to face. So week number 3 rolls around and somebody contacts him and says, hey, you are overqualified. And I see you have this skill. I could not pay you what you're worth. So that's when him and I talked. He got in touch with me and he was like, wait a minute, I could make a business out of my skill set, which is what I was telling him he could do anyway. Well, we just didn't know what that could look like in the marketplace. So this guy who he applied to work for actually said to him, oh my gosh, you're perfect. I need you for this, but I can't afford you. They never even talked money. So after that conversation, him and I talked, and he decided that he was going to go into business for himself and start to market himself, solving this problem. He's going to be working for lawyers, solving problems for lawyers. So he tells me today, it's so funny when you make a decision because the moment you decide, everything else starts to shut down and it starts to support you in the direction that you're going. So what happened was 2 things. Number one, he got an invitation to go sit with a lawyer to discuss working together and forming a business relationship, right? The lawyer called him. That's the first thing. Because I told him, I said, listen, call that lawyer back. Tell him that you will see him first thing this week. Be assertive. You're going to see him first thing this week, and you're going to offer your services. And we started to outline the services he was going to offer. Right. So he called the lawyer back. The lawyer was like, oh, that's a great idea for us to talk. We can't talk Monday, whatever. He says, the lawyer says, I'll call you back. Well, the lawyer did call him back early this week and said to him, come in on Thursday, 2 days from now, and we'll talk. Right. So he's now, my client is now focused on, well, I'm just going to go this route. Dude got all kinds of rejections from the job because now his intention, now his energy, and now his focus is on developing this business and really providing services and being that consultant that he can be. So my point is, this is how powerful we all are. When you make a decision to no longer be vague and no longer be scattered, you're pinpointing your energy in one direction. Everything starts to line up in support of that. At the same time, all the doors that you were trying to kick open, those start to close, the ones that don't support you where you're going. And I told him, here's the thing, I gave him a get out of a jail card, right? Because he had a history of making poor decisions. These were his words, right? And I said to him, there's no such thing as wrong. You just have to decide how big you want to show up. Do you want to just go the traditional job route? Do you want to do that? Then it's there for you. You can go find it. They're out there. I said, but do you want to go the consultant route in which you don't have a ceiling on your income? You don't have a cap on your income. You get to take on as many clients as you want. You get to systematize your service. You get to market yourself as such as solving this particular problem. And you can work, hire people to help you. So by him hearing that, I said, there's no wrong. You just have to decide where you want to play, where you want to show up. That is your decision. Either one will work out. It's just, what are you deciding to do? When I shared that with him, it's like he got an aha moment in his mind that he could literally shift things by deciding to go in this direction. And then everything lined up. So when I teach in my Goddess Mind, which I hope you all will join me in, hint, hint, that's this Sunday at 1 o'clock Central, I talk about the whole alignment process and the fact that if you're scattered anywhere in your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, or your results, you're going to get scattered, splintered results all over the place, because the results is just feedback. That's all it is. The results is feedback. It should never be the goal that you're going for. It should always be the journey, always be improving yourself, always be getting clearer and clearer and clearer on how you are to show up in the world in order to have the things that you desire to have. And so when I explained this to him, he got it. He made a decision. And then he calls me this morning and says, energy is something else. This stuff is real because I decided I was going to do this. All of a sudden, all these companies that were after me just last week or a week and a half ago, they closed the doors. And he's more than qualified for all of them. They closed the doors on him. And I said to him, learn this. It is always this or something better. It is always this or something better. This is how you start to up level. This is how you start to progress when you get in your psyche that it's this or something better. So when you're going through a slump, understand that that's a lesson to be learned. That is not something where you're bad, you're wrong, you're broken, you're negative. It's like none of that stuff. It's literally part of the process in which you get to grow. With him, now what he's having to do is believe in himself at a higher level. The skill is there. It's already validated that he brings value to the marketplace. So that's there, check, right? So now it's a matter of him marketing himself and putting himself out there. Will he do it? Well, that choice is his. So if he doesn't have his desired outcome, it is not because he doesn't have the value, he doesn't provide value, or he can't provide value. And it's not because the marketplace isn't looking for what he has. Those two are not the case. So it would have to be something else if he does not get the results he's looking for. And this is what I'm talking about. At any given moment, you and I can decide to shift things in our life. We truly can. It is a decision that we make to be able to do things differently, focus differently, so that we can have a different experience in life. I was sharing with another beautiful lady this morning um, about, and I talked about this in the group. I'll share it here about our stories. And our stories is the thing that it's I like to say it's like the record playing in the background. When I was growing up, my dad had a basement full of 45s, little small records like this, and then LPs for long play, big albums, and we used to play them on the record player. And he used to play them throughout the day. And it would be like we would do the housework, cleaning, whatever. And sometimes we'll have people over. But the music would play throughout the day on the weekends. That kind of like signified, Jubilee, it's weekend time, having fun. And it got to a point where it was just background noise. You just kind of got used to it. It was just playing in the background. And and I loved it because it's part of my upbringing and part of the strong memories I have. But the thing about stories, they're just that. They're things that we decided were applicable to our life, and then we just allowed them to keep playing over and over and over again. The thing about a story is we get to change our story if we want to, and they play over and over and over again to a point where we live into them. We live into our stories. We will always, 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 always live into our story. It's like we are actors in our own movie. And that movie reel is just constantly going. It's just a matter of what role we're playing, right? And so you get to define that. Once you become conscious of it, you get to define that. And so going back to my client and the story that and what he shared about energy, which is what I want to share with you all, is that he learned that energy is real. He learned that deciding the decision is a power, and taking a stand one way or the other was a powerful stance. Because when you make a decision, you literally cut the cut, you cut other, alternatives or whatever, and you decide this is the way you're going to go. Now, what that could look like is, if he's looking for, if his goal was just income while he builds his business, he can go take a little side job, whatever. But the decision is, I'm going to focus my energy on building this and doing this and presenting myself in the marketplace. So the next time we meet, we're actually gonna cull out, the value, the bullets and all that stuff that he's gonna present to these lawyers for potential clients. But isn't it beautiful that he understood that now he doesn't have to have a cap on his income? Now he gets to go out there and make as much as he wants. And now the work becomes him believing in himself enough to know that he's greater than, a $30 an hour job or whatever it is that he was lined up for. That he was way more valuable. And then if he provided services to those same people that would have hired him, but it cost them less to hire him than to hire someone full time, that's value added for them. So he's learning how to be not only, valuing himself, but seeing how he could present that in a way where the client can't help but hire him, right? Because it saves them money, it saves them time, it saves them anxiety in having to train people. And it's just an exciting thing. So he decided that. And everything lined up to support him. So, whereas in the past, he might have looked at those rejections as rejections or those no's as rejections, in reality, he was actually cementing the yes to his expansion. He was cementing the yes to him becoming greater in the world, helping more people solve more problems than if he was just in somebody's workplace working for one person. Then the other thing is too, he gets to be flexible. He gets to serve them at the same time. He can go hang on the beach. He can go hang wherever he wants to, because he's going to now go hire people to fill in some of the customer service stuff or whatever it is that he needs to do. So my point is, he went from a place of thinking this was his only option because that was what he was used to recognizing that he was so valuable, which is what I had been telling him, that he was so valuable that he's learning now how to present his value in a way that's a win for him, that's a win for his clients, that's a win for income, his income generation, a win for his self-esteem. Now there's a lot of wins here. So at any time, ladies, we can decide that for ourselves. At any time, at any moment, you can say, enough is enough. This story is not serving me anymore. I need to do something different. You just can. And that's not, I wish I could just wave a magic wand and get everyone to understand that at a deeper level. But you just can. And you are supported. We live in a world where God has designed this universe to be self correcting and also quite supportive of those of us who choose to align with Him and do the greater work. It's just that way. I don't have an explanation around it. I didn't create it. I'm just a messenger. But that's the world that we're in. And we get to decide as human beings whether or not we want to participate with that. So I just want to share that with you, that truly now is the time for you to share your great work in the world. Now is the time. We are in a situation now where where the world is expanding, as I've always said. People are expanding in consciousness. People don't want fly by night marketing anymore. People don't want empty promises. People want to be healed. People want to grow. People want to be enriched. People want to expand. People want to drop the facade, drop being fake, and truly step into who they really are. And us as healers, us as coaches, us as mentors and consultants in this group, who believe in spiritual things, we are the ones that are equipped to go help these people. So I am calling you, calling you all out and inviting you all to join me in helping people at a deeper level to step into who they really are. So I hope you all will join me. Now, two things I want to share with you. Well, actually, one thing. I have the Goddess Mind training this Sunday at 1 o'clock. It is life changing. I actually have two people that, yes, our consciousness is rising. The old marketing ways are no longer. Absolutely. I'm not a proponent of that, Sherry. That's a really good point. Um, the thing about the marketing, what I get annoyed with and what I take a stand to improve upon is this idea that you're just going to come out of the gates and you're going to go out there and you're going to create $20,000 months. I'm not saying it's impossible, but statistically speaking, that doesn't happen for most people because most of us have lived in this world and most of us have been conditioned to show up a certain way. And what I'm learning to be true is it has been made wrong for us to be ourselves to a point where we don't know who we are. So when we come marketing ourselves with the latest tactics and we're calling ourselves a consultant or a coach, the challenge is we're just mimicking what we've seen. And then we get upset because it worked for someone else and didn't quite work for us. What's in vogue today, and what I do take a stand for, is for us to first heal, right? And then become aligned and become aware of who we really are and align ourselves to that and bring that messaging to the marketplace. And at that point, that's when you start to see the shifts financially. That's when you start to see the results that you're looking for on a more consistent basis. Of course, you're going to have flukes. You're going to have months where you do this. You're going to have months where you don't do it. But I'm talking about when you want consistent income. It takes you showing up as yourself. And for some of us, that's not easy because of the conditioning that we got. So in the Goddess Mind training, I tackle the mindset of a goddess. The mindset of a goddess is someone who is creative. The mindset of a goddess is someone who is open. The mindset of a goddess is someone who is healed or healing and is available to grow. Someone who has a goddess mind wears her big girl pants, right? She doesn't do temper tantrums. And so she doesn't have excuses. She doesn't live in Excuseville. Where she lives is in the place of opportunity and expansion so that she can become a vehicle for growth and healing for others. That is what the Goddess Mind training will start to prepare you for. So it is my intention fully to share that on Sunday with you. I've already got the ladies who came before, so they're coming back. Sherry said the Goddess Mind training is so good. I'm attending again. Yes, yes, yes. And this time, Sherry, I made it earlier for you, sweetie, just in case you wanted to come back, so that we'll really have a good time. So if you plan on attending, it will be next Sunday, or this Sunday coming at 1 p.m. Central. Mark your calendars. Do show up. We're going to do it via Zoom. I'm going to send out a link later on this week so you all can join me there. I'm super excited to help set you up to be able to start really taking control of the circumstances in your life and no longer letting circumstances dictate your life. I have been in situations where the circumstances look so incredibly grave, but because I have developed my goddess mind to a point where I no longer focus on the circumstances, what happens is the circumstances become white noise, just noise that eventually it just works itself out. And I'm not talking woo 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 where just stuff just happens from the sky and it works out. What I mean is I can put my attention to it once I'm done with what I have to really focus on. It no longer becomes something that weighs me down, but it's something that can be resolved in its appointed time. And this is how I treat it. So know that you are meant for so much more. Know that you are here to make tremendous shifts in life. And the Goddess Mind training will certainly help to lay that foundation for you. I've never seen this stuff shared this way. I've seen elements of it. And this is something I got straight from my own personal experiences, and going from a woman that was overridden with anxiety and burnt out and always grinding and unhealthy to a woman who's quite healthy. I endeavor to always be in the flow of life. And I just don't let things get to me. Like, things don't bother me anymore. It's because I've done all this work, and it's because I've gotten so good at creating my life through managing my mindset and just how I show up in the world. So I want to invite you to join me in some of the concepts and principles that I live by. And I share freely. You can just ask Sherry, you can just ask Patrice, you can ask Ingrid. I share freely, and I plan to do that again. And who knows, God may give me even more, because I'm always open to learn more and share. All right. So I will see you Sunday, but I'm going to come back again live in the group, because I can't not show up, because I love you ladies. But this is my invitation to mark your calendar for the Goddess Mind training at 1 p.m. Central this Sunday. All right. Blessings to all of you. Have a great day. Bye bye.